In the Monument of Triumph update, Bungie released a lot of weapons. Like, a lot. 27 new and 392 weapons that have been reprised from across the entire game with new and updated perk pools. And understandably, it can get quite overwhelming when deciding which weapons you want to go after when there's just so many to choose from. And come on, let's be honest, not all of these 419 weapons are going to be, quote, good. Not saying they need to be. With the game being in end of service, the only remaining motivating factor for a weapon chase is fun. So if you like a particular weapon, go and grind it. But there are of course several objectively powerful options scattered throughout the roster. So today I'm going to go through my top 21 picks for the weapons I think you should prioritize when farming the new update. If you're just looking for something strong to get yourself started, leave the niche picks till later type deal. So if you enjoyed today's content, your like and subscription would be very much appreciated. And without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so first off, we're going to start with some of the actual new weapons that were added, aka the ones that aren't reprised, starting with Rapid Growth. This is an ARC 140 RPM rapid-fire sniper rifle, the first new ARC rapid-fire since Apostate back in bloody Shadowkeep in 2019, which has also been reprised by the way, so it has been a good while, and thankfully it gets some pretty good sniper perks, better ones than the reprised version of Apostate, in fact. Rapid-fire snipers are always the go-to archetype for DPS, and Rapid Growth comes with the solid roll of 4th times the charm plus either the new perk Gear Shift, which at max stacks is a 35% buff, or Aggregate Charge, which at max stacks is a 33% buff. Pretty good and is great for surge matching with Anarchy. This weapon was intended to be a future Solstice event weapon, as evident by the Solstice holofoil appearance, and you can focus for it using the Solstice weapon engrams at the Tenet of Bravery for the low cost of 2 legendary marks. The next several weapons are going to be from the returning Sparrow Racing League game mode, the first of which is the Snipe Hunt Mark 47 ARC lightweight frame 720 RPM auto rifle. And 720s are already the best auto rifle archetype, yet this one brings the heat by number 1 being a lightweight, letting your character move faster with it held, and number 2, it gets the nasty god roll of jolting feedback plus either Volt Shot or Chaos Reshaped. I'm personally leaning more towards jolting feedback and Chaos Reshaped, but this is definitely the best in slot energy auto rifle now. Coming up next is the Terciopolo 4BL, gosh that's a mouthful, solar lightweight frame sword, and the reason this one is good is why all lightweight frame swords with Eager Edge are good, and that is that lightweight swords with Eager simply send you further on a light swing than any other archetype, and this is a lot easier to earn than Sullen Claw from the Equilibrium dungeon. Simply play some Sparrow Racing League with the weapon focused and you'll eventually get it to drop with Eager. Plus it also gets Chaos Reshaped in the right column, which is never a bad option, and it looks awesome as well, might I add. Again from Sparrow Racing League we have the Valantif D, the first and only solar rocket assisted frame pulse rifle. Despite rocket pulses receiving a pretty heavy nerf versus bosses with regards to their damage output, they are still exceptionally good for clearing trash mobs and major enemies too. And not to mention the ammo gen nerf that rocket pulses received, well, Valantif completely fixes this because it gets the role of Air Trigger, which grants a crispy plus 30 ammo gen stat and either Sword Logic or Aggregate Charge for your damage perk options. Finally, the last weapon I recommend from Sparrow Racing League is the Vikala SMG4, the only new heat weapon we received in this update. The Vikala is a Void 900 RPM balanced heat submachine gun that gets the god roll of Dimensional Shift and Chaos Reshaped. Great for any Void build that makes a consistent amount of Void breaches, although the one negative thing about this weapon despite its solid perk pool is the zoom on the scope. It feels way too boxed in, but that could just be my preference. Either way, very solid SMG to add to your arsenal. Okay, that's basically it for the new weapons. Of course, there are more than just the 5 I mentioned, but it was those 5 that stood out to me the most. So now let's do the same, but instead looking at the 392 reprised weapons too. Starting with Chrysura Mello, a reprised version of this Season of the Lost auto rifle, this time coming back as the first and only ARC support frame auto rifle, and with the god roll of Physic, granting you and your allies 5 seconds of amplified and either Circle of Life or Frenzy, this weapon is very solid for any of you who like support frame autos, and this weapon can be earned from the Shattered Throne dungeon. Next up is the Neomuna hand cannon epochal integration. This is the solar 140 RPM adaptive frame hand cannon that gets the always solid combo of explosive payload incandescent or explosive payload chaos reshaped. Pick your poison, but I would probably go with incandescent. I like big explosions. This weapon is an uncommon drop from Neptune. Moving along, we have the Heretic ARC aggressive frame rocket launcher from Altars of Sorrow on the Moon, and this rocket has been reprised with a particularly whimsical perk combo of supercharged magazine and gear shift, which if you're standing behind a Storm's Keep barricade with the flashover artifact perk to maintain your amplified timer, allows the rocket to fire endlessly without ever reloading. And with gear shift also maximizing its damage in the process, it's very reminiscent of the OG Lunafaction boots meta from Forsaken, for those who remember. This isn't the only arc rocket to get this combo. In fact, the other one is Sub-Zero Salvo from the Europa destination. However, this one is a precision frame and deals less damage by default. So if you want to do some cool rocket shenanigans, definitely grab yourself a Heretic, which by the way is on a 3-day rotation with Blasphemer and Apostate, so you can only farm it once every 3 days. Best to check out the braytech.org website to see when you can farm it next. In a similar vein, the Arc breech-loaded grenade launcher Salvager Salvo has returned to us, this time with the god roll of Trickle Charge Gear Shift. And much like Heretic, again standing behind a Storm's Keep barricade allows this weapon to infinitely fire provided you have ammo to spare, making for a very fun DPS combo. This weapon comes exclusively from Pinnacle Ops activities, but remember you can focus for it inside of the global focusing menu to increase your drop chances. Happy farming. Alright, now it's time to dive into the Black Armory weapons, because yes, every single one of them is back, each complete with an awesome holofoil appearance too, starting with the Bellowing Giant, the Void Adaptive Frame Rocket Launcher, coming with the unique double damage perk combo of Lasting Impression and Aggregate Charge. So purely for that and the fact it's a Black Armory weapon, it gets a solid thumbs up from me. Next, we can't not talk about the GOAT Kindled Orchid, the Void 140 RPM Adaptive Frame Hand Cannon. And of course, it's back with the classic role of Kill Clip and Rampage, and to be honest, that's probably what I would recommend. You can also go for Kill Clip Explosive Payload if you want, but I think it's best to stick to the classics here, for old time's sake. Next on the list of potent Black Armory weapons is the Hammerhead Void Adaptive Frame Machine Gun, coming with solid combos like Destabilizing Rounds and Mega Kill Clip, which is a new souped up version of regular Kill Clip that goes up to a 40% increase in damage, or Onslaught/Killing Tally if you want something more familiar. Machine guns have always been good for just mowing through ads, and Hammerhead is no different. And for all the Black Armory weapons, you grind each and every one of them exclusively inside the Arena Ops activities, which again can be focused for the ones you want via your inventory. Moving into dungeon territory now, first on the list is the beloved Unforgiven SMG from the Duality Dungeon, this time coming back with the potent combo of Destabilizing Rounds plus Chaos Reshaped. And I know I will certainly be wanting one of these since I always loved the feel of it back in the day. Possibly one of the most infamous weapons of the franchise, the legendary Indebted Kindness Arc Rocket Assisted Frame Sidearm has returned to us, this time with an even better spread of neutral and damage perk combos. And me personally, I've got my eye on Air Trigger plus Volt Shot. Can't beat the classic Volt Shot potency, and Air Trigger now provides an excellent utility by adding plus 30 ammo gen stat and improving airborne reload speed. There's no lead from gold this time though, so if you kept an old one with lead from gold, definitely keep it because you can't get it back. Indebted also gets chain reaction, which I have yet to see gameplay of, but it is indeed a first for a rocket sidearm, so I guess try it out and report back down in the comments below. One of the most consistent primary ammo weapons to this day has been the Multimax CCX Kinetic Rapid-Fire Lightweight Frame SMG from Iron Banner, largely in part due to the god roll combo of Attrition Orbs and Kinetic Tremors, which you can now earn a tier 5 version of the next time Iron Banner rolls around, which should be on the 7th of July, I think. And just so you're aware, the end of service Iron Banner cadence is once every 4 weeks, basically once a month until, well, the end of service. So if you miss it one time, don't worry, you'll have plenty more chances in the future. Yet another staple primary weapon you should be adding to your arsenal is the Reckless Oracle Void Rapid-Fire Auto Rifle, but not the version from Garden of Salvation. No sir, you see, this weapon got itself a double reprise. Not only has the Garden of Salvation version received some nice new perks like Dimensional Shift or Demoralize, a separate version has also been made for Pantheon, and the Pantheon version comes with Chaos Reshaped, whereas the Raid variant does not, plus a unique holofoil appearance too. The god roll is comprised of Destabilizing Rounds plus Chaos Reshaped, and another reason this weapon is so uniquely strong is due to its origin trait being able to quickly disorient any shielded enemy. Even better if the shield type matches, because then it becomes a disorienting explosion, great for shutting down any shielded threats in high-level content. And it's also very easy to farm right now by spamming Argos checkpoints, provided you have the weapon unlocked already, of course. In a similar vein to the Valantif Rocket Pulse from earlier, Mint Retrograde literally still exists, and again, despite numerous Rocket Pulse nerfs, they are still in fact quite good for neutral play. And guess what? Mint also got a perk refresh plus access to the Accelerated Assault origin trait, which is both a damage perk and rewind rounds clone at the same time. And much like Valantif having access to Air Trigger, new Mint can get Field Prep, which also grants plus 30 ammo gen stat, helping to negate the ammo gen nerf. And my new god roll recommendation, considering where Rocket Pulses land in the meta now, would be Field Prep plus Frenzy or Master of Arms, or any damage perk of your choosing. just make sure you have field prep and also the shiny accelerated assault variant, which by the way, at time of video release, it is currently the Grandmaster Nightfall drop. So what are you waiting for? Go get your shiny mint. Onto some raid weapons now. We're starting with a few that can get some nasty double damage perk combos. The first being the Found Verdict Arc Aggressive Frame Shotgun from Vault of Glass, getting the combo of Assault Mag, Aggregate Charge, and Elemental Honing. And if you assume both damage perks are at their maximum stacks, together they provide an 80% damage increase for the weapon. And don't worry about the magazine size, the Time Lost Magazine Origin trait has got you covered with that. Simply pop your super and you've just permanently doubled your magazine size. Besides all of the illegal artifact shenanigans happening this week, I was recently testing a damage rotation on Hunter featuring Shards of Galanor, Speedloader Slacks, Crack Shot, and double aggressive shotgun swapping with Parasite featuring this exact role of Found Verdict. And despite being a bit tricky to pull off, actually hits pretty damn hard. Definitely let me know down in the comments if you'd like a full breakdown of this strategy, but knowing my love for DPS videos, I'll probably make it regardless. The second notable double damage perk raid weapon is also from Vault of Glass, and that is the Praedyth's Revenge Kinetic 140 RPM Rapid Fire Sniper Rifle, because specifically the Time Lost version, aka the Adept version from Master, gets access to Aggregate Charge plus Elemental Honing, just like Found Verdict. However, like I said, it is only the Time Lost version that can get this role. If you're not interested in farming the other best in slot sniper rifle, Conspiracy Honed from Equilibrium, Praedyth is a suitable replacement. Finally, the third nutty double damage perk raid weapon is going to be the Insidious Arc Aggressive Burst Pulse Rifle from Vow of the Disciple, because it gets the god roll of Frenzy and Chaos Reshaped, and if you have the pattern for it, you can go and craft this weapon right now and start having fun with it. You could even boost it all the way to tier 5. Assuming you have both buffs rolling at maximum efficacy, that's a roaming plus 100 reload and handling, as well as a 55% weapon damage boost. Not too bad at all. Of course, I would be remiss when talking about Vow of the Disciple weapons to not also mention the fact that Submission, the kinetic 900 RPM rapid fire SMG, also from the raid, has been reprised to feature the god roll of Kinetic Tremors plus Chaos Reshaped. No attrition orbs this time, but Chaos Reshaped is definitely good enough. And if you like SMGs that heal you, stun enemies, and deal a ton of extra damage, this one will be right up your alley. So that about does it for my recommendations on what weapons you should prioritize farming inside of the Monument of Triumph update. But don't sweat it, for better or for worse, we have got all the time in the world to farm these. They're never going away, being sunset, vaulted, none of that. Everything listed in this video will be permanently available so long as Destiny 2 remains playable. So if you're watching this video in week 2, month 2, or even year 2, nothing will change. And that's both comforting and sad, isn't it? Anyway, that's a bit too deep for a god roll video. I hope you enjoyed the guide, good luck with your farming, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, dear viewer.